Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am back now with part 2 of the Black Swan digital download. Now, if you remember, we had put these papers, made them a little wider, did a single signature, the way that I would normally do that, but set it into a book, which is one of those 4x6 photo books, but the center literally just crumbled out. So yay me, easy to clean out. Didn't have to reline or anything else, but I must admit, sewing black paper into a black book was very difficult for me to say. I'm just saying. Wow. We also, while treating each of these as an individual signature, because again, I would have had 3 of them, we still did some of our sewing stitches. I do like to add that. There is no lace added into here. These are going to be very thick. This is a focus on journaling, adding notes, or adding photos, or however the recipient's looking to do this. This is a gift for somebody, and I know I'm flipping through fast, but I did choose to coffee dye the paper. She is a fan, my sister is a fan of that technique, and you can see that we're going to create pockets and all kinds of interesting things through here. So there's going to be many parts to this. Now I know that with the scrapbooking that I'm doing as well, this one's going to focus on the ephemera a little bit. What I'm going to do first is I want to flip through. Matter of fact, no, I don't. I want to leave these open. This is eventually going to be a pocket. So I will be gluing up on the top and the bottom, but in case I want to leave this open, in case I want to fold something over, maybe I want to change my mind. So there's lots of areas. If I look also into the inside of this signature, this is definitely going to be a pocket that I'm going to glue. Or again, it could be just another piece. It all depends on what I'm looking to do, or maybe this is something that I'm looking at, like, you have here these wonderful, we're going to show them in a second, but these are fold outs. So I mean, you could actually take this fold out and fold that over onto this area, and then when they flip it, they see this. Of course, I would make sure that it's the right way, but you can see that that will just nestle in there amazingly, like perfect. But again, so these are the things I keep. Like, this is also going to be a pocket. This is the front portion of this packet here. Again, here I've already created that pocket, and as we go through, and then the inside is probably going to be a pocket as well. So lots to do in this one, but not too much. Eventually I'm going to add some lace down onto these pages here with glue. I'm not going to sew them. I am finding I like the sewn stitch look. I mean, I love this look. But what I find, if I'm sewing on fabric or lace, it gives me problems, and it's me. And I don't like it to bunch up. One of the things that I struggle with too is, like, let's say if I put a piece of lace on this side, or even on this side, I'm now taking away from those stitches here. So it is something that I could sew offline, have a strip, and then just glue that in, or I could just glue in the lace, which I think is what I'm going to lean towards going forward. There's just certain things that, just come to my brain a little bit. I'm just saying. So within the digital kit, you've got some wonderful ephemera. So I did take the time, sat in front of my TV, and I did make a couple copies of the kit when it came to the ephemera part. So these are awesome movie strips. And what would I do with that? I like to, there was someone I was watching on YouTube, and she makes these rolls of paper. And all she's doing is accordioning the fold. And then she just sews down the center of it. I am absolutely in love with it. I mean, completely in love with it. This is also something that's really cool, because as you can see, as I'm pulling it out, you see the strip. This could be a journaling piece. Now the recipient would have to remember to fold this back up, so that might be a little annoying. I don't like to create too many things that annoy my people, but I will be taking my sewing machine down the center to give it, or at least on one of these edges, and then that's going to become a piece of ephemera. And you'll see that. I'll break away so I can do the sewing. Again, I can never put that up here. Some beautiful, I mean, look at these images. I am in love with these images. And again, this is the digital kit by Dreams, etc. Again, it'll be linked down below. Those images are just absolutely gorgeous. You have a camera. There's another one of those. Here's a beautiful ballerina. A beautiful feather. I mean, that is just gorgeous. This is something that I'm going to hold because I believe that's going to be part of my cover. So I'm just going to set that aside and put that on top there. Beautiful swan, again, for the black swan. There she is with the beautiful background. Some ephemera pieces, some lace. This is going to be great because I'll cut around this and stick this on the edge of a page. A piece of block or photo print there. Some tickets. More tickets. A little bit of the film strip. I'm loving the film strip. Now this is going to be great for the cover as well. And again, I can just nestle that right in there. Again, it's all about the layering for me and the collaging. Some wonderful, nice size tags that are part of the kit. So I've taken, look at that one. Oh, so I've taken the time to cut them out. I believe there are 6 different styles and designs. And again, I did cut these out or print these down a couple of times. Some great squares that can be used throughout. And then some great, you know, larger pieces. So like this one, I would actually look at folding this over a piece, or, well, you'll see. I don't want to give everything away. And that's the one I want to do with it. So these are some great big journaling cards. You know, that's what these can be used for. So I cut those out. So these are all of our ephemera pieces. I've got my vintage photo by me, absolutely, always close at hand. So we're just going to make some ephemera pieces. I'm going to put my fussy cut pieces together and set those aside. These are strips that we'll put up there. These are my tags. We'll just get those there so that I can reach everything in an instant. Also in here are these beautiful envelopes. These are the fold-ups. And again, that's what this is right here. So you can see you just fold on the lines. You can fold it different ways. These are going to be great. Now I could have coffee dyed these as well. I didn't think about it. And I may just do that because these are great for just inserts so that more journaling can happen in here. So that's a good thing. And that, you know, I keep an eye on this for some reason. That's why I want to go up here. I want to go over that. I got to remember to stay down. Just a ramble there. So, but I think these are just great to put somewhere, clip into this so that, again, even more ways to journal. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to sew on that. So I'm going to make a pile of that, and then I'll be able to do that, and then we'll come back. Okay, So let's look. Now remember, we can cut these two. Okay. We can cut anything. So the one thing that I saw with this, I'm going to get my scratch pad as well. I want to ink around this piece. Because even though it's not coffee dyed, I do still want, you know, that vintage style, vintage effect. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then to tone down that white, you'll see that I'll come in with one of my old makeup brushes. Because that's a lot of white going on there. And again, I did coffee dye. And yes, there are some white pages in there. But I'm going to come in with one of my old makeup brushes and just go back and forth. And you can see that white just got toned down. It's not completely gone, but she's just toned down now. And that's what I'm looking for. I can also go over this piece as well to tone that down also, so we don't have that stark white. So again, if you're not into coffee dyeing and you don't want to take that time, or tea dyeing, absolutely, it is time consuming. You could use something like this. You just need a makeup brush. Now, I just had this as a spare. I don't recommend going out and buying the Bare Minerals one. No, no, no. But you can get makeup brushes at the dollar store. You just want to make sure that they are soft to give this soft effect as well. Okay, so I am loving this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half. Now, again, you can see, and you'll go, well, why did you cover that up? At least the other side, because I never know exactly what I'm going to do with a piece. So to be safe, I always make sure I do everything to that piece, and then I know. So now I'm going to real quick bring in my book, and I want to get to this page right here. I remembered this with this page. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that right over. Now I want to make sure okay, so that's going to go like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this. I have the crease. I'm going to hold that side down. Now what I'm going to need right here is a very thick piece of cardboard. Now this chipboard is from the back of one of my Canson XL pads. So this is what I use. I put this into my page, all right, because then what I'm able to do, now I'm going to unfold this as well. I just needed it to be creased. I'm going to line up the two folds with each other. All right, and I'm going to use my glue stick for this. So the next few episodes, while I'm getting all of this together, the next few episodes, I think this one's going to have more than any of the other ones because it's so big. You're just going to see the different components that we can put in our books, whether it's a pocket, whether it's a tuck, whether it's a tag. So again, the building of the ephemera, basically. All right, now I'm going to line this up. Okay. So those are the things that we're going to say. Now, some may be shorter than others, like I said. I think this one's definitely going to be a long one. And I won't show all of, the ephemera, unless somebody comes across, no, I gotta do it. But I'm going to show you covers. I'm going to show you different ways, different pockets, different tucks, you know, different things that we're doing. All of the tags. I'm a big tag person when it comes to certain things. Just to have that look. I love this camera. I think that camera would be really cool. So I am going to fussy cut this out. And I'm going to take off that white edge. So yeah, so that's what's kind of going on here. We're going to see it to the end, and then there'll be a final video where I show what they look like once they are done. So I love making ephemera. Sorry you guys are watching me fussy cut this, and you can see, aren't you guys glad that you can see this, that, oh my god, I'm a horrible fussy cutter. I do not do this very well. But I get the basics. One of the things that, and the reason why I don't worry about it is, I love, my favorite part when it comes to the pieces that I create is the collaging. I love to collage. I could just keep on adding papers and papers and papers together. I just think it's really cool the way that it looks and the differences that you can get. And now I'll come in with my soft brush just to tone that down. I do want the sense of white, but I don't want the stark. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to glue that there. Again, just to add something extra to that page. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to put it up here. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it over. You know, I think for these videos, I got to move my camera out. Because then we don't miss anything. So now I have that wrapped around the page. I love to wrap the paper around the page. I think it adds so much. I think it's cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and you can see that we've got that fold that was there. And now I'm going to fold this over again. I want to make sure that she's straight. Because of the paper here, she could go crooked. And I don't want that to happen. I'm going to come in with my paper creaser and I'm just going to strengthen that fold. I will fold it over as well to do the other side. So this will come here and sit in there. And I will come down and just crease that. I just want to make sure I have a strong fold. So with that, I'm not going to make this a pocket because when it's unfolded, now you can see the whole piece. So we're going to let that go. And again, all of this is available for journaling. But again, I can put things in here. I can stamp some images, you know, subliminal, you know, you're just using some light colors. I could use, you know, like a gray, or I can use a very soft pink just to get that image down there. But again, the digital download is doing most of the work. It's giving you all of the pieces that you need for this. So again, I'm just going to go through. And I think I just want to continue, but I wanted to show you that, what that could potentially look like. And then when you flip it over, you've got that little piece. So again, it's just a way to embellish and add to what's there. I love these tags, and you really don't have to do too much with these. But what I am going to do to these is I'm going to back them onto some thicker weight or heavier weight cardstock. Now, one of the things I'm going to check first is if, oh yeah, so they were bigger than the tags that I already have. I've got a huge box of them. So can't use those. So I'm going to go into my cardstock. Now the cardstock that I use, and I can go into a black or a brown, because again, I'm using the vintage photo and I've coffee stained my pages. So I can go with either. So I'm going to get a piece of each. Just going to step away for a second. It's right here. And then I'm going to pull this. So these are the two pieces of cardstock. Now, when I do my journals, the cardstock that I use is by Michaels. It's right down the street from me, which is dangerous. And it is their Recollection. So I usually keep stock of their black. And I am a huge fan. This is the only craft cardstock that I love. No matter if it's on the card making side or the junk journal side. I love their craft. I love the look of it. It looks like a paper bag, a true paper bag, which is awesome for me. I love the thickness. I think it's a little thicker than what they say, but I think it is great quality. When it comes to the Recollections, now there is a 110 pound, but this is the 65 pound, what they refer to as the 65 pound. For me, this is a perfect weight when it comes to the junk journals, or if you're creating mats for your card making. So what I want to do first is go around the outside, and I always want this edge just a little bit heavier. All right, then I'm going to come in with my brush. Again, it doesn't kill it. It just tones it down because I don't want it killed. It's almost like I'm taking it to an off shell. So if I look at this, let me see if I have a duplicate of this one. That would be a great way to show you. And I think I did cut multiples of these. You would think, because I'm huge in the tag world. Love, 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 love tags. Here we go. I think I found it. So here's the one that I just went over with my brush. And here's what the original looks like. I don't know if you can see that difference if the camera's picking it up. But it's just a little. It's not taking it away completely. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this onto my black cardstock. Oh, that's not good. And then I'm just going to cut around it. And I'm going to give it just a very thin border. I don't go too crazy. Just make sure all the air pockets are out. And I will let that dry. Okay. Now, what I'm going to get ready for the other side is a piece of cream paper. Now this is what this would look like on the black. And again, there's a lot of black, but I'm okay to put the brown in here as well. And there's going to be a mixture. So I do have some white. You know, I have my dictionary page. I have the music sheet. I have the parchment. But I do like the look of the cream that I have going on. So I'm going to grab a spare piece. And again, it's just copier paper that I'm using. And I'm actually going to grab the cream. You probably all didn't hear that because I was too far away. So I grabbed the cream of this. So I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut this. Again, I am not worried about this being perfect. I just want to keep a border around the tag. And I keep these scraps because I can use them in other areas. And now I'm just going to come straight down. So now I have that border. Could I have ripped it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because now that's what I'm going to do on this other side. So I am going to tear going to put my finger there. I'm going to place this here, pray that I'm straight, and just tear up. I do like the way this edge looks when I tear. I am going to come across and I'm going to tear off this bottom. And I do want to tear just a little bit off of this side. It's better if you have a grip on the paper to just come up. And now I just need to see, so you can see I am going to have that border that's going on. And now I just need to see, okay, where do I want to go here? I'm going to bend right there because I'm going to come in just above that. And I'm going to tear. So now I have that sitting in there. I'm going to come in. Again, nothing needs to be perfect. But I'm going to simply come in, take off the corners. And now when I place this, I've got a border that's going around. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. That, I'm okay with that. I think it looks different. And I'm going to ink around the edges, of course. And I'm going to glue that down. What time are we? Okay, we are almost halfway through. Now the beauty is when you have your black paper, like I do going around this, you really don't have to ink around the edge. And that is a tag, and you're fine. It looks beautiful, just like that. I mean, absolutely just like this. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, when it comes to as I'm making these pieces, I could poke a hole in here to make it a true tag, but I'm going to hold off. I don't know if I'm going to make this a pocket. Now, just because I make it a pocket doesn't mean I can't have a hole up there. But I am going to look at those things just to see. I do want a piece of this. I have to print more of this down. That I definitely know. And I'm going to trim this up. Again, I just want to add some of this. And what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to tear it actually. Now, you can cut, again, I just don't have the patience when it comes to fussy cutting. It's really bad. And I should have patience because fussy cutting can give you beautiful, beautiful results. But I'm just tearing along that edge. And then when I come in and ink it, I mean, I'm going to cover up if there's anything that I missed or it's going to distract from it, actually. Gonna come in. Now, I could have also, or I can also use black soot if I wanted to. And it was something that I would have thought about if I didn't coffee dye my papers. I'm going to put that right there. Yes. Now I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this. And because I'm going to make it a pocket, I'm just going to put a thin bead of glue. And I'm going to put this right down in this corner. Alright, and you can see that I've created a pocket here. So just something a little small, you know. Yes, by the time I get done this, I'm all inked up. So I could put, you know, as this there. And again, I don't know if I want this to be a pocket or if I want this to be just a plain tag that has the ability to have, you know, something coming out of that. I'm not quite sure yet. So that I'm going to set aside as well. Just to set that up. And again, I kind of go all over the place. This here, I know this is going to be part of my cover. I love the way that looks just right in there. And I'm actually going to put this on black cardstock, and I'm going to add dimension to that. I still like to add double-sided foam tape to my images sometimes if I can. That does not stop me at all. If we work at another pocket, what I'm going to do on this one, I'm actually going to use one of my bases for this. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off, and I want that to be straight. So I'm going to come in right below that. Come up. I want to ink. No, I don't want to ink around this one yet. I want to, no, this one's definitely because I got a hole going on in there, but I want to put this down. This is going to go straight down onto this base that I have here. All right. And now I'm going to trim that. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I want to have that lace look, but I don't want a fussy cut. So I'm going to carefully rip this so I can have that torn edge, but still get that curve. Now I want to ink this. So what I'm going to do, when it comes to the paper, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on a piece of black cardstock. And I'm going to take it right up to the edge. I'm not going to have a border on that. And I just want to put that right there. And I'm going to come straight up with my scissors and cut that rest away. And then now I am going to come up and tear this. Can you tell I love tearing paper? And I want to set this down. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that down just a little bit because I want to see, I do want to see that writing. Okay, and this will work. So now I'm going to come in with my art glitter glue again because this is going to become a pocket. And I'm going to use this original tag as the guide. So there's the pocket, and I'm just going to set this in the center, and I'm going to take that down. I'm going to look to make sure she's straight. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to trim this away. Carefully. I want to make sure that the glue adheres, but I want to cut those sides away. So now we have that. Then what I want to do is I'm going to come across with this other piece of black cardstock on the teared edge, and I'm just going to put a line of glue here, and I am going to place that right down over top. And I'm going to push down. And I don't care if that's straight. I mean, I'm good if it goes a little crooked. I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come up and I'm going to cut around this tag. And now what I have here is I have a pocket. This would have been a little bit weak unless I backed this a little bit with some cardstock. Fine, you know, I could have had one here, could have had one here, but this now has become a pocket. So again, I can take one of these and just just set those in there. The tag is curling because of the moisture within the glue stick. It does go away. Okay, it does, you know, leave, and this will flatten back out. So here I already have that. Now I'm going to go around the edges with my Distress ink, and I do this on both sides, and I'm going to go across the bottom. And the last thing that I want to do is I'm going to tear across, and I'm going to glue this down on the top of this as well. Because see that film that I have there? I like to get rid of that. And I'm just going to make sure that that's at the top. And again, I'm just going to look around. Now again, this is going to be tough because it's black paper. Oh my God, I'm killing myself with this. I think I have an edge on here. If I don't, I did now. Okay. Now, if I have any ivory showing up here, this vintage photo is going to take care of that. So now I can go around the edge. And then if I want, just to take some of it away and give it a little bit difference. And that is our tag with a pocket. or whatever, again, whatever we want. We can make this a pocket. We can make this a tag. We can make this something that's simply clicked in. This will be, however, either something that we're going to click in or clip in with a paper clip, or a tag, because this is a lot of journaling space and I don't want to lose that. Doesn't matter though if we do. It all depends on how it looks as I continue to go. So I will set that one aside. So we are moving. We have that fold out piece, and we have the 2 tags and or pockets that I've created. Let's see what else we can do. The other thing that I do like to do, kind of looking at each of the papers, you know, again, you can attach things because there's so many papers that are sitting in here. You know, you can have a lot of fun with some of your scrap pieces. So I'm going to tear that there. And I'm going to tear that there. So now I've separated these pieces. So if I look at another page in my book, because that's what I want to do with these. But first, I want to put them onto some, actually, brown cardstock. I'm going to go with the brown this time. So I'm going to ink around these. All right, now, I know that what I need to remember and get the measurement of. So if I look at one of these pages here, I need to get to the other side. All right, so if I look at this here, that's the center. I need to measure how wide that is. So I'm going to grab my ruler that I couldn't find, and I'm going to put that in there. So this is about, I'm going to go with 5 inches because I'll be able to stay away from that, from this sewn area. I don't like to go too close to this because I could lose something in here. If it's not glued down correctly, it could warp and so forth. Even 4.5, I think would look good, and so would 4. So if I go with the 4.5, what I want to do is actually measure how wide this is. So this is, I'm going to go with 4 inches wide. So I'm going to grab, and again, I'm just showing all kinds of different things. I will actually hold off and not put them in the book. We'll show that in another video. So I'm going to go down and cut this 4 inches. And I'm going to take off 2.5 inches. I'm going to make it 4 by 6. So I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to put this here. I'm then going to take this and I'm going to place that there. I still have a border going around my piece, but this is how we're going to adhere it. We've got all kinds of different ways. So these are going to go in flat. So I'm going to grab my my glue stick. And I'm going to put those down. Very thin border from the craft tag, the craft paper that I'm using. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put glue on this one. And now my glue book got buried. That's why I'm just going straight on here. Okay. Now, I am going to take this. I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this first. But what I also need is I need to see, is this? Nope. Just need to add a little bit of strength. Ooh. All right. I'm going to get this directly down onto this paper, and I want it to be, I'm going to push this out just a little bit. When you are not sure if you want to tear your papers or not, pull it out. Keep it. I know a lot of people say you're wasting paper. It's paper. It truly is just paper. There's always ways to get more, and that's something that I absolutely love when it comes to the recollections paper. It's very, it's at a wonderful price point. So now I'm just coming around with my ruler and I'm taking off this edge, and I'm going to do it all around, but I needed that place set. I needed the piece set first. Now, because this is cardstock and not paper, you do have to make sure that you push down a little bit more, you know, put a little bit of force into that. Now, I'm going to hold off on this one. So it's really the straight edges that I'm good with. All right. So now on this edge, I'm doing a hand tear because you get a different look. So now I'm going to come back to this piece, make sure I'm putting it on the right way, and I'm going to ink this entire piece up. And I'm going to add just a couple of pencil lines, just to give me an idea. So I'm going to go just in here, just in there, just there, and there. Those, and I don't know if you can see this. So I got there, there, and then there and there. Now I'm going to take my art glitter glue and I'm going to put that right in between them. And it's okay if I go past, I can wipe it up. But I just want to make sure I've got a good coat there. I'm going to come in and I'm going to line up where the original film strips are. That's what those little black lines are on these. And I'm going to set this down. I'm going to wipe that top one away. And I'm going to hold this here for a little bit. There's a lot of moisture in this. And I just want to make sure that this is set the way that it should be. Meantime, I'm going to erase that pencil line if I can. I think the glue's covering it. Yes, the glue, actually. The glue that I wiped away. So I'm going to come in with a sand eraser. If it's still there, I don't care. All right. All right. So this is what... Oh, okay. I'm just glued it to the table. That's funny. Just gonna wipe that away. So what we've created here is either, it's basically, this is going to be a pocket or just an addition to a page, okay? Because we can journal on this. But what I've essentially created is a belly band on this page. So maybe a tag that we've just created. Yep. So we can put a tag right in there. So we've created a belly band on this. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know if this is something that I'm going to clip in, or if this is something that I'm going to put to the top, or whatever that is. So again, this is how, you guys are kind of actually seeing the way that I go through a process of creating the ephemera. I kind of go as it goes. Now you could have also kept this open too, because you could have had a pocket there. You could have had an upwards pocket there as well. But again, this will flatten out once it's dried. So, okay, so we're really close. So I'm just going to end here. We'll do more in part 3. Maybe I'll look at the cover and all of that. But these are the pieces that we created. So we have these two. I've got a little tiny side pocket or tuck there. We've got a pocket here. And then here, of course, we've got the belly band that goes across. And then don't forget, we created our page that folds out and wraps around to the other side. So just some ideas to create your pieces with. Now again, you can do this on a tag. You can do this on a page. I mean, you could take this, just take this section right here and put that on your page. Now you've got this corner belly band, have that equal to the bottom, and so forth. So again, we'll make one of those and do that same thing. So I'll show you that next time. Hopefully I'll remember. But these are just some of the items that we made. We'll be making some other ones in part 3. So I do hope that you enjoyed this. Gave you maybe some ideas to create ephemera, how to create ephemera. And what I mean by that is giving you those ideas to create pockets on top of your ephemera, or your belly bands on top of a card that you can also journal on the other side of. Everything doesn't have to be flat. Keep in mind though that yes, somebody may, if you just use this as a journaling card, you want to make sure that it is flat so that they can do their writing and it won't be bumpy for them. But some people may like it, you never know. These are just ways to use a digital kit if that's what you're using, or your pattern papers, however it is. I'm just giving you those ways to say, okay, this is what we can do when it comes to those pieces. So as always, I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're finding this video, along with the other ones, helpful. The link to this digital download will be down below, as always. If you're on your computer, just click below the video, show more, and then you'll be able to see the links and those that inspire me, because they just do. And if I put everybody, it would be huge. But they're just a few of the people that inspire me when it comes to junk journals. If you're on a mobile device, just look on the right. There's a little tiny arrow pointing down. If you click on that, it will expand for you as well. I do hope, if you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below. I enjoy answering them. I enjoy reading them. I know it takes some time for me to get back to you, but I will definitely get back to you as soon as I can. I do appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're a subscriber or not. I just am grateful for the time that you take to watch these videos. They are long, and I am Gabby. Absolutely. continue to stay safe and healthy, everyone, as we continue through this journey together. It's not just one person. We are doing this together, and we will get through. Enjoy your day, but as always, the one thing that's most important to me is always to be creative. Till next time, guys.